This year, I've been lucky enough to get some mountain bike tips and advice from some of the best pros in the world. And if you enjoy any of these tips, then make sure you hit subscribe down there to make sure you don't miss the ones in the future. But let's jump in with 10 of my favorites from this year. Up first on the list is Enduro Pro Jessie Meelam. Before I headed out to the BC bike race, Jessie met up with me to give me some final tips for riding one of the hardest trails on the race. The highlight of which was how he was able to explain his braking technique, something I'd never heard before and was something I found great to practice while out riding.
Not braking, braking slowly, braking hard, not braking. Coming into the section, not braking at all. As soon as I see that there's a corner, I start to kind of apply pressure so that my fingers are flexed maybe. And then about here is when it starts to slowly grab. So that's braking slowly. Braked hard. And then as soon as I said not braking, I could see that the corner actually opened up, let off the brakes, and then carried speed out of it.
In at number 9 is Kurt Voorhees and his technique for hitting hip jumps. I have always been, and still am, pretty nervous about hitting hips. Here, Kurt explains in a really simple way how you get over them safely and in control.
When I go off the lip, if I turn this direction to guide myself that way, my body falls this way. So I'm gonna land on the transition and slide out. So when I go off the transition into a hip, I wanna turn, which leans my body, gets my body leaning. My bike leans, I can land in that transition.
Remy Govan is pretty good at going fast, it's fair to say. When I told him I have a problem of going fast when riding something for the first time, he shared this tip about how to read the trail ahead of you and anticipate what's coming.
And what did I do on the way in?
So on the way in you came here and you basically did a left and a right hand corner when you could just have gone straight. When you're coming here you can already see the trail, so you didn't need to like do a merge, you could stay, you know, and go really on a straight line. Like cutting corners and going a bit inside is good when you can see.
Yeah.
But on that particular feature, because it's a bump, it hides what's behind. In this particular case, there is a big hole behind.
While heading down a double black trail in New Zealand, former world downhill racer turned team owner Fabian Cassini observed that I could improve what my body was doing while riding down the trail.
A little tip.
Okay.
So you should use the travel of your legs and arms more. Absorb more stuff with your arms and legs, move more.
Now, this one isn't a mountain bike technique, but it's how to set up your mountain bike suspension. Ben Walker is a bike expert over at my sponsor Scott and assists the fastest downhill racers in the world with their machines. I always get lost in this process, but Ben told me what I really should be focusing on when it comes to getting it right, and that's balance.
Sag is something that a lot of people really obsess on or think that they absolutely have to have 30% sag in the back. I think that that's false, and the reason why I think that that's kind of a bad thing to try and get, if you dictate 30% sag and then you want to get your front end balanced, you might end up with a fork that's way too soft and really hard to ride at high speed. If you're allowed to go to 24 or 25% sag, then that enables you to have a fork that doesn't dive in steep, heavy braking situations, and then it helps you balance out the rear end. So if you don't impose a 30% sag number on yourself, you can balance your bike much easier.
Cam McCall has competed at the top level in mountain bike freeride and slopestyle for more than a decade. So if I was going to find out how to hit bigger jumps, this dude was the person to show me how. And it always came down to speed. So with this simple tip of taking an extra pedal stroke before the lip, I found I was able to get over things way easier.
Spread this out pretty decent. We'll coast the berm. Yeah. Then we'll take one pedal before the lift and we'll be sweet. Okay. Yeah. Yes! Oh, that was so chill.
Good on you, my man.
Oh,
one of the top 10 enduro racers in the world at the end of the 2019 season was Remy Govan, and he can get down a race stage faster than almost anyone. But how does he do it? I spent a day seeing just how much faster he was than myself as an average rider, and he told me how to go fast in turns.
Just on some of your braking points and things, I think that if you really focused on letting off the brakes at the apex of the corner, it would, because I notice you like to lean your body more than your bike. That's due to the fact that when you brake in the corner, your bike wants to stand up. Like that's just, so if you could reverse that and just lean your bike just a little bit more than your body, you can brake all the way up until the apex. But if you just let your brake off just from that apex until the exit, and then you can put your brakes on again if you really want to.
With 2 entries into the top 10, Kurt is a master of bike riding. This really was the game changer for me in my jumping this year, pushing into the lip. It helped me be more stable in the air and improved my confidence while jumping.
What we're gonna do is, when you're hitting this transition, you know the transition's gonna be coming at you, so you're going uphill, so the bike's gonna slow down. You wanna make sure the bike goes with you, so you wanna push into the bike and say, hey, me and you are together, we're going off this, because if you don't, the bike slows down, you end up going over the bars. That's what happens. A lot of people don't push into the lip and throw their bike in lip. It's like pushing your shopping cart through the parking lot of the grocery store. If there's a speed bump, you don't let the shopping cart hit the speed bump and hit you. You push it forward. So do that with your bike. When you're
Bye-bye goggles. Oh, yeah!
Hey. Just missing out on the top spot, Enduro Pro Casper Woolley also lives in my hometown of Squamish and wanted to get me cornering better. After doing some drills on the fire road, he wanted my body position to improve but couldn't figure it out until this light bulb moment about my knee.
We should maybe get to the knee. Oh, that's maybe what'll help you. Okay, we got some more. We'll scratch the other stuff.
Forget everything that I've just taught you. Got it.
You're gonna go, as you're approaching the turn, you're just gonna point your inside knee out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Relax the...
Yeah, but you kind of do this.
Okay.
You just do it like that instead of like this.
Oh.
Like, you're a good enough bike handler that you get this to a certain extent. But the way you get there is just not it.
We're making progress.
Yeah. Slowly.
It might be hard, you might not be thinking it, but we are.
It doesn't feel like it.
Oh, wow.
Whoa!
Whoa! Hold on.
At number 1, well, it can be no one else other than Tracy Hanna. This video has been seen more than 700,000 times at the making of this video, and her tip of singing down the trail went viral. So many people have come up to me out on the trail to say how they tried this themselves, and it made a massive difference. The switch for me going so much faster was unreal, and I still truly don't believe that it happened so quick that day. Tracy actually finished the downhill race season #1 in the world this year. What a boss.
What are you gonna do on this run?
So I'm gonna trust myself.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Because you just told me that I'm doing everything right. It's just that I'm not letting my body do what it wants to do.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that how you put it?
Yeah. You could, sounds weird, but a few things I do is like get a song stuck in my head.
Okay.
And sing it in my head on the way down, or focus like on breathing, like so notice when I'm breathing in and notice when I'm breathing out. Try to put your attention on something else. So don't think that you don't want to think, but think about something. Completely takes your conscious mind out of the picture and just takes you back to something else. I just want to see how that will work for you.
Okay.
So just
try the song.
Try to sing a song. And every time you think about riding or cornering, sing the song again. He's literally flying. Oh, he jumped the tunnel! Oh, look at you go! Sending it, Paul! No! You hit the jump!
So there we have it. Those are my 10 favorite tips from this year from mountain bike pros that I've managed to make videos with, and I'm going to be making a lot more. So hit subscribe down below and make sure you don't miss them. And I just want to say a massive thanks to all of those that have subscribed, and to my sponsors as well for helping to make this year happen. It's been amazing, and next year is going to be even better. So don't forget to leave a like, comment down below what your favorite tip was, and cheers punters, I'll see you next time.